Well, again, that wasn't a very good safety from Xing, leaving that possible red onto the left middle. He just hasn't got the speed of the table yet, has he, Xing? So that cue ball should have been much closer to the cushion.
The other matches in this opening session on day 2. Table 2, Judd Trump against Scott Donaldson. Wu Yize against Mark Allen, the player of last season. And former shootout champion Hossein Vafaei against last season's shootout runner-up Julian Leclerc of Belgium. Mark Williams to follow this match against Ian Burns on table 1. Luca Brissell will take on Andy Hicks on table 2.
Another great crowd in today. Love the snooker here in Brentwood. Oh, he's caught them a little bit too thick. Now, how's your luck? He's fortunate if he's covered this red over the pocket, which he has. Yes, he can play a red onto the red, but it's not easy. There's distance between the two reds. He could try and come off the cushion and pot it, but again, got to be very accurate. Oh, that's a beauty. That's a great shot. And that was just in case they missed the first one.
Well, it's a pretty attractive looking table, isn't it? If he could get position on his next red. Nothing safe. 51 behind, still 67 on the table.
Yeah, cushion first is the shot here. I will take the cue ball away from the cushion and give him choice of reds. Well, I can't believe he's played to pot that directly. It was much more difficult to get good position playing it directly. If you just play cushion first, it just comes off the cushion nicely for 4 reds. Still should have potted it, shouldn't he? But it's not a good way to attempt it.
Selby still needs some good cueing to get back in here. If he pots this, it's surely the frame.
Yeah, that's a great pot under pressure, because he could have lost the frame had he missed it. But now he should have no problem in sealing this frame.
took Selby a while to establish himself as a real contender in the Home Nation Series. This is the 8th staging of the English Open. He didn't make it past the last 32 in the first 5 Home Nations events. His first victory was the English Open in 2019 with that demolition of Gilbert. But he's now won 4 titles in all, which is the joint best along with Judd Trump, including 2 Scottish Opens back-to-back after not having entered that event in the first 3 years of the Home Nation. So he's certainly now at home with this format. He's more synonymous, isn't he, with the long matches, Selby. But he's more than capable of adapting his game to the shorter format. He's proved that. He won 7 European Tour events over the best of 7 frames when they were on the circuit.
So, the best of 7 format is not the leveller, as some people think it may have been.
No, generally speaking, it's been the big hitters who've come through in these Home Nations events. We had a couple of surprise winners in the first year, in particular Mark King at the Northern Ireland Open, beating Barry Hawkins. Liang Wenbo won this.
Yeah, it's been a good opening frame, this, for Mark Selby. Xing had his chance, that black right over the pocket.
24.
Harder to miss than pot, you would have thought. Got to get it out of his mind, though. But as Philip said, it was a really good chance that to win the frame. There was nothing safe. Everything was there for the taking.
29.
And when you get a good chance like that against one of the best in the world, you really have got to take them.
31.
Well and truly settled now, Mark Selby, cueing well. All of last week's good thoughts coming back to him. Doesn't take long.
Yes, I think even though he lost, he was very quick to acknowledge the fact that Mark Williams was outstanding in the final. But he knows his game is in good shape. I think he's very quietly confident about the season ahead and the damage he can do. He's already had a number of deep runs this season, a couple of semi-finals as well as the title match in Cheltenham,
49.
and plenty of evidence in this opening frame of how well the former world #1 and 4 times world champion is cueing. The black doesn't matter, breaks of 53 and 49 from the defending English Open champion Mark Selby to leave Xing 1-0.
Human achievement. The drive to understand, to improve. These are the things that bring us greatness. Incredible, your every day. The new iPhone 15 Pro with aerospace-grade titanium at an everyday price on the UK's best network.
Hello, darlings. Aunt Helga. Futuristic scooters, old school website. Relax. Web upgrades, I own them. Better design, e-commerce, and smart AI. Now you're fit for the future. I scoot off now. Your digital partner, Ionos.
New gadget, Albert?
Oh,
This is my smart meter display. It shows how much energy I'm using daily, weekly, and monthly, which could help me make changes to save energy.
So it's not a time machine?
Of course not, Darren. That's in the shed.
For extra help managing your household budgets, search Get a Smart Meter today.
Okay, you hold that side. You're supposed to pin it.
Play on the go with the National Lottery app.
Life can be a struggle when you can't breathe well. Fortunately, Otrivin helps unblock your nose 6 times faster than decongestion pills, so you can have a better day and a better night. Help breathe your best with Otrivin.
Family life. It's made of ups and downs, and those little moments. But should the unthinkable happen to you? Life insurance from Legal & General can help look after monthly bills, the roof over their heads, childcare costs, and most importantly, your family. Because no one protects more families in the UK than us. Premiums start from £5 a month and they never rise. Plus there's a £100 gift card after you apply. Legal & General. Ensure life goes on.
Everyone, this is Grandma's companion, Gerard.
Companion. He calls him that because he doesn't want to imagine us getting it on.
Hello?
The defending English Open champion Mark Selby is off the mark, helped by breaks of 53 and 49 against a player he admitted he knew nothing about ahead of this match today. Xing Zihao of China, a brand new professional, just 18 years of age, and undoubtedly feeling some nerves and tension, which is entirely to be expected, playing a player of Mark Selby's calibre on TV in front of a big crowd. And 1 or 2 errors from Xing in the first frame. That's an error from Selby. He won't be thrilled with catching the blue full ball off the break to give his opponent an early chance in this second frame.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. He's got to capitalise on these mistakes, rare mistakes, you've got to say. Catching the reds a little bit too thin, and that's why he's made contact with the blue. The black appears to go to this right corner pocket. Yeah, just a little bit pacey.
It's one of the big challenges, isn't it, for any of the players on tour playing on television, which by dint of their lower ranking they won't do nearly as often as the leading lights, because it does play differently. It tends to be quicker, and it can take a couple of frames just to adjust to the pace of the cloth.
Yeah, what he's looking at here is the cue ball going to go into the black and the red? Or can he just squeeze it past and be on the black? Doesn't like it. And that was still a decent chance. Shot to nothing, blue waiting, had it gone in. But he wasn't really close to that pot. could have finished a lot worse. Missed the pot again by quite a distance. Selby looking at the possibility of a plant. It's a game of errors at the moment. Selby catching the knuckle of that right corner pocket. That was supposed to be a safety shot as well as an attempted pot.
Julien Leclerc has the first frame against Hossein Vafai. Half century from Leclerc. That match on table 4. Mark Allen has got the first frame against Wu Yize. Allen, who of course produced 4 centuries in 4 frames in his opening match yesterday morning.
Seven.
Other results in this morning's session. Victory for He Guozhang over Ryan Day, last season's British Open champion. Good win for He, who is a former World Under-18 champion and qualified for the tour this season via the Asia Oceania Q School. And a heavy victory for Chow Yu-peng, former Scottish Open finalist, against Dave Gilbert, who missed out in the most disappointing fashion imaginable last week against Selby in a very lengthy match. On the final black, he went in off Gilbert to lose 4-3 at about 1:45 in the morning
14.
in Cheltenham. John Higgins beating James Cahill 4-2, and as we heard just now from Ding Junhui in conversation with Alan McManus, a 4-1 winner over former UK semi-finalist David Grace. Not an ideal table at the moment for Xing, given that both black and pink aren't perfectly positioned.
Yeah, and straight on the blue, of course.
90.
So unless you get something special here, looks to be end of break. Needs a good one. And that's a beauty. Great shot.
20.
And that's okay. Enough room to get in and out of balk from where he is on the blue. I'd have liked that cue ball just to have run a little bit further, so he could have got the right side of the blue. So if you can't get the right side, leave an angle on the blue to be able to get back to the reds. And that's just what he's done, playing the more difficult blue to the corner. So now you can screw the cue ball back for that red directly above the pink.
31.
Needs to keep running, doesn't want to be straight. Just about got the right side, and those two reds just below the pink spot, he's released one of those. He's taking these pretty good. Again though, under hit that. Would have liked to have been low on these two reds. And now it's going to take some shot to get onto the next red. It's a nice lead though, the way the reds are situated. Black and pink tied up for the moment.
It's such a quantum leap from the amateur to the professional ranks, and that's why it's so important that these days the new professionals have a 2-year card as opposed to the old 1-year card. The opportunity to acclimatise, get used to playing at this level against seasoned pros.
What a shot he's played there, you know. Lots of left-hand side on the cue ball to try and get amongst these reds. And he's managed to be on one, I think. Although it's a difficult shot to the right corner. It was never easy. Now is he going to get away with it? I think not. It's just drifted past the brown, and the pink will now go to that left corner.
It was actually a really good break from Xing, given that pink and black were out of commission throughout, but obviously there's still more than enough there for Selby, albeit that things are very congested at the moment at the top end of the table.
Well, the pink will go back onto its own spot if he pots it here. So it doesn't need to do much with the cue ball to be on the next red. But after this red, he needs to leave an angle on a colour to be able to disturb them, otherwise he's going to be breaking down pretty early. So, not the ideal angle. He's going to have to really power this one into the middle if he's going to disturb the reds. It was never easy.
Selby, 8.
Never easy playing a shot like that at pace into the centre pocket when you've only got half a pocket to aim at. You've got to be absolutely bang on. A theoretical 67 still left, Selby 40 behind, but obviously at the moment the black is out of play and 4 of the 5 reds are very awkward. So a lot of work for Selby to do to get back into this frame, but if anyone can do it from here, it would be him. Meanwhile, Judd Trump has taken the opening frame against Scott Donaldson on table 2, although Donaldson is well in front in the second frame, poised to level. Selby's managed to get a couple of those reds out into the open. One of the key victories for Selby on his way to the title last season was his victory over Neil Robertson, who'd had very much the better of things in their rivalry in the build-up to that semi-final. He'd beaten him 7 times in a row and looked likely to do it again when he led 3-1 at the interval, but Selby played superbly thereafter, turned the match around, and of course went on to beat Brissell in the final.
Yeah, I've got to be very careful here. Doesn't push a red over that left corner. And he has done, but he's hidden it. Or hidden the easy red. Now, can he get to the easy red? The one closest to the left corner. Well, he's played that well. Nicely on the blue. Now, he could try and disturb those 2 reds closest together. He doesn't need to. He could always play for one of the loose reds that are available to him. I think he tried to nudge the black out.
6.
Xing has obviously never played Selby before, but he'll certainly know his reputation as being perhaps the toughest player on the circuit to beat. Always gives everything up to the last ball. Never fazed by being in a difficult position. In fact, sometimes the harder things are, the more Selby excels.
Well, this is a tough black to take on. He could bring the pink into play, try and get that cue ball close to behind the green. Just a little bit pacey. This table running very fast indeed. Oh, beautiful. Great shot. Needs that cue ball to slow down, though. Doesn't want to be dead under the cushion. Now, does he play the yellow or the easy snooker? The easy snooker, yep, he's going to put Selby in trouble, but it looks to be easy enough to try and escape from it. Yeah, that's a clever shot to play, giving himself some insurance with the green on the cushion. I think that's better than the snooker, actually.
I think Selby would have approved of that one. Great pot, wasn't it?
So that green could be all important.
34 the difference with 43 left. So Xing would only need red and colour.
Oh, beautiful. Again, what a shot. Two great long pots in succession. And as Philip said, any colour will do. Well, would you believe it? And not only that, he's on the red and the black, although it's not easy. That's all he would need to be able to tie. Cannot believe he's missed that easy yellow after potting two great reds like he just did. Concentration, that's all it is. I've just got to be careful here. He doesn't snooker himself and may have to play this just a little bit harder than he likes.
He's also got to pot it, otherwise he'll need snookers. And the importance of that green, which Xing opted to push safe just now, becomes even more important.
Good pot.
10.
And it's dangerous times this for Xing, because look where the blue and pink is. If Mark Selby should get the green and brown, he's got a very easy snooker to lay that cue ball tight behind pink.
As things stand, Selby can only tie the frame.
Well, he didn't play the pot, he played to send the green round the table, and look where the cue ball was. It was right behind the black. So, chance of playing the snooker here.
He's played a very good frame, Xing. He made that excellent break of 40 without having either pink or black available to him. A couple of outstanding long pots, missed frame ball yellow. Still got to finish the job. Only needs one colour. Selby would need snookers.
Where's this green going? It's just slowed down enough.
Just a reminder that all four tables are available to watch on Discovery Plus. It is 1-1 between Judd Trump and Scott Donaldson on table 2. Hossein Vafai and Julian Leclerc have shared the first two frames of their match. That's on table 4. Mark Allen 1-0 up on Wu Yize on table 3, and Allen well in front in the second frame.
Oh, just a little bit hard, I thought there. But the green has run safe.
This frame now into its 26th minute. Xing has been in control of it throughout, but until the key ball disappears, there's still jeopardy for him. Selby can still tie this frame, force a respot.
The brown in a little bit safer position than where it was. Well, that's brought the brown into play, and look where the cue ball's finished, right behind it. A stroke of luck there for Mark Selby, and it could be very important. He's got to hit this green, don't forget, otherwise Mark Selby could win. Now, where's it going to finish? It could have been worse. Difficult to tell what kind of an angle he's got from that particular angle. Can he cut it into the middle? It didn't look like it from the overhead, but from there it looks cuttable if he can avoid the baulk corner. Well, he couldn't have picked it up and placed it any better. So it looks like we're heading for a tied game. Still got to do it. But it's in his hands.
Typical Selby, really, this, isn't it? He's not played especially well in this frame. He started with a poor break-off, crashing into the blue. He's been playing catch-up throughout, but he's just stuck on in there. Clawed his way back into contention, and now a couple of pots away from an extra black.
Yeah, just overrun though for comfort. And it made the difference.
Mark Selby 12.
So one good pot here from Xing. Poor positional shot from blue to pink. Mark Selby disappointed. Yeah, good pot.
Well played, and thoroughly deserved to win that frame. Mark Selby made a few mistakes, having dominated the opening frame, and so it's on as even here in Brentwood. Xing won. Save at the Brentwood Centre of the Bet Victor English Open. The defending champion, Mark Selby, who's made a very strong start to the season, but an indifferent second frame from Selby, and well played Xing Zihao, the new professional from China. Thoroughly deserved to win that frame. Made a good break of 40, which wasn't easy, given that the high-value colours were out of commission. Selby had a very presentable chance to force a respotted black, but didn't get nicely on the pink, missed it. And an excellent pink from distance from Xing to clinch the frame. So battle joined, one apiece, 4 to go through. The winner to play Martin O'Donnell this evening. Selby and Mark Williams, the man who deprived him of the British Open title, were originally scheduled to play on the first day, but of course they were playing the final in Cheltenham late on Sunday evening, so they enter the fray a day late. Williams is up next on table 1 against Ian Burns. Last year's runner-up here at Brentwood, Luca Brissell, will be on table 2 in the second match of the afternoon against Andy Hicks. And Sanderson Lamb, fresh from his best victory of his career to date against Neil Robertson yesterday. That's the way he described it. He's also beaten Mark Allen in the past, but did very well to finish the job against Neil Robertson, a former English Open champion. He plays Stuart Carrington on table 3 in our second batch of afternoon matches. Elliot Slessor is up against Ryan Davis. Speaking of Mark Allen, he's now 2-0 up on Wu Yize. Judd Trump has moved 2-1 up on Scott Donaldson. And likewise, Hossein Vafai 2-1 up on Julian Leclerc.
It was a very good safety that Mark Selby played a moment ago. Just missing the brown to leave the cue ball dead on the cushion. And now, this red just above the black is potable, but there's no guarantee of being on a colour. Difficult red. Good pot. And he is on the black or the pink. He'll be very disappointed at missing frame ball in the last frame. Well, not frame ball, but to draw. Still cost him the frame. He was in a lot of trouble, Xing. Caught the red just a little bit too thick.
$15. 60. $21.
Choosing the blue to go into the pack of reds from. And as long as he catches that red full in the face, the one that's closest to the pink spot, they should spread nicely. He didn't catch them full, and he could very easily have gone in off there, but it's worked out okay.
27.
On another day, that cue ball finds the pocket.
$28.
Yeah, just has to sit and be patient. Hope he gets another chance in this frame. He'll be feeling good winning that last frame. Xing. Choice of reds. The way he played the shot gave himself choice of a couple of reds. $33. Now choice again, whether to go into the reds, big target, or play for the loose ones. This is all about choice. Chose to go into them, and he's on one. Again, not ideally,
38.
but you would expect him to pot this. Try and move up towards the blue. And he's played it well. Right side of the blue. Now he could just drop this in and play the straight red to the left corner, which would lead him to the pink or black. Something like that.
$44.
Terry Camilleri, our referee for this match. Mark Selby looking to re-establish himself after a disappointing second frame.
$45.
Well, Xing hasn't done anything wrong, really. He's trying to escape from a really good safety that Mark Selby placed him in. Selby took on that risky red next to the black to start with.
52.
And he's made this break from practically nothing. Just got to try and stay positive, Xing. Hasn't had a chance in this frame, so can't blame himself too much. And that's where strength of mind comes in, because you've got to be prepared to come back to the table with a scoring chance.
60.
Doesn't look like he's going to get it in this frame, though.
No, this black and a red should do it for Selby.
$67.
What a really classy break this has been from Mark Selby. That's frame ball. Crowd appreciating that.
$75.
Selby is so synonymous with being gritty and determined and tough that his break building prowess is sometimes overlooked. He's made 784 career centuries. 50 last season, 10 already this, 5 maximums, including the 100th at the UK Championship.
82.
4 world titles, 3 Masters, 2 UKs.
83.
Some CV, isn't it?
Yeah, still young enough to win some more world titles.
Spent 4 straight years at world #1 between 2015 and 19.
90.
Virtually every seat taken again today in Brentwood. They love their snooker in Essex.
Well, I've got to bring this red off the cushion. If he's going to make the century, slow down, red. Perfect. Replay, just showing that nice shot again.
This has been forensic in its
96.
quality. Selby has never looked in trouble.
'97.
Played 1 or 2 quite ordinary shots by his standards in the second frame, having dominated the first with 53 and 49. But he certainly clicked back into gear in this one. What a break. Immaculate from Selby.
100. $102.
Well, it's a good way to respond, Philip, to what happened in the last frame, missing that relatively easy pink.
105.
This is how top players respond.
109.
I think when he arrived in Brentwood in December last year, he was still searching for something in his game. He hadn't won a title for over 18 months.
114.
But he now knows that his game is back. And even if he has the odd ordinary frame, he'll back himself to quickly eradicate that, as he's done here in some style. Nothing that Xing can do about this. He's done nothing wrong, just too good from Selby. A 127 total clearance. That was a beautiful break from the 4 times world champion and defending English Open champion as he moves 2-1 up. This is the state of play on the second afternoon of the English Open. An immaculate total clearance from Mark Selby, 127 to move back in front of new professional from China, Zihao, who played very well to win the second frame. Selby had the chance for the respotted black, missed the pink, but what a great response, a typical champion's response from Selby to dominate the third. So 2-1 up, 4 of course the target. Martin O'Donnell waiting in the round of 64 this evening from 7 o'clock.
So Selby breaking off and leaving a half chance here. This red to the left corner. Looks like the black is tight, but it may go to this right corner pocket. Certainly goes to the left. Great pot.
1.
Yeah, didn't want the KC trying to slip past the green. Would have been on a straight red to the left corner.
6.
So still on this red. And again, he could try and play for the black. Or swing that cue ball round for the blue. And don't forget the pot. And that was the danger playing for the black. If you miss it, you leave your opponent in amongst them.
Zihao 6.
Didn't really get close to this, did he? He's seen what Selby's playing like, and he knows that this could be Very expensive.
1. Eight.
The second frame was quite lengthy, nearly half an hour, but the third, a very different affair. Selby dominating it with that superb century clearance, and now looking to do more damage. .100 break just now was his 11th of the season. Made the semi-finals of the
16.
European Masters in Nuremberg, where he lost to an outstanding performance from eventual champion Barry Hawkins. Played in a high-quality Shanghai Masters semi-final, which he lost to Ronnie O'Sullivan, and of course the final last week in Cheltenham. So he's been very consistent already this season.
Just overrun slightly with his positional play for the blue. But it could come to his advantage, this, if he decides to go into them, which he has done. But hasn't been fortunate. Didn't quite catch them full enough.
22.
If you look at this again, wanted to miss the pink and find that gap between the pink and the reds, and they would have spread nicely.
Mark Selby, 22.
Yeah, went very close to that middle, didn't it? But got a good cue ball. Well, it's trouble again, this Xing. Nicely played. Don't think the red goes to the right corner.
Judd Trump still 2-1 up on Scott Donaldson. Trump has made 140 break in that match to tie the best of the tournament so far. James Cahill in qualifying, and Tom Ford in a losing cause against Wan Sijun also made 140.
Now, can he see enough of the red to the left corner? Good pot. He had a look to see what he was going to be leaving had he missed it. And by playing the cue ball so close to the cushion, he hasn't left himself with a good angle on the black. Nearly impossible to get to a red from that black. Daren't play any harder in case he did miss it. Would have left an easy red on. So looks like he's playing the safety.
Zihao 1.
A little rub on the brown there. That was the thinnest of thin shots, just the paint. Oh, that's another mistake. Catching the red much too thin. Oh, what's the damage? Xing had a quick look.
Wu Yize has made a century, by the way, on table 3 against Mark Allen. Allen leading 2-1 and in front in the 4th frame.
And again, that looks like a very good safety. Doesn't look to be an easy way back to the balk area. Well, he took the risk. He had no idea where the balls were going to finish.
Selby has only attempted one long pot so far, which he got. His pot success is a very healthy 94%.
Well, he missed the cannon to the red, next to the pink. And he hasn't left anything really easy on Xing. Possible reds to the middle, but very difficult. I think it's worthwhile taking on because he could play for the black or pink, and it would be safe if he missed it. Or safe-ish.
One.
So he's on the yellow, and the red nearest the black spot would be a good red to play onto. Don't forget the pot. Now, is he going to be on that red?
Xing Zihao 1.
I think he is. He couldn't have played it any better. The only problem is the yellow didn't go in.
Miss frame ball yellow in the second frame into that pocket from a different angle. Ultimately, it didn't cost him. This one could do.
1. Yep.
Next up on table 1, it'll be Mark Williams, who became the second oldest ranking event winner in beating Selby in the final of the British Open on Sunday against Ian
7.
Burns. Only Ray Reardon, who was 50 when he beat the whirlwind Jimmy White in the 1982 Professional Players Tournament, has won one at a riper age. Williams turns 49 next March.
Eight.
And Luca Brissell, fresh from that very close run thing against Stan Moody last night, is back on the table this afternoon against Andy Hicks on table 2.
$15.
A little shorter pace there, so I'm going to have to play it down for the blue.
$16.
So dangerous moments these for Xing.
21.
That missed yellow could prove to be his undoing in this frame.
$22.
And that split has worked out very nicely. Doesn't need the safe red, that's on the right cushion. Wasn't too bothered about holding the spot. A couple of reds, and you should be safe.
$29.
It's not always easy to play someone with whom you're not familiar, you're not sure about their strengths and weaknesses. Selby saw enough from Xing in the second frame to know he carried a threat today, but responded with that brilliant 1-2-7 clearance, and
36.
it's looking highly likely now to be 2 up with 3 to play for the defending champion.
$37.
And this is what the top players do. They punish their opponent's mistakes Try not to let them settle. Frame ball.
44.
2 snookers needed, but I don't think he's finished yet.
45. $50. 51.
53 and 49 in the first frame, 127 in the third, and now this half century from Selby. It's very solid scoring. Xing's pot success down at 76%.
58.
Oh, beautiful. Great shot.
59. $66. 68.
Yeah, he's proved he's in a mean mood if he gets half a chance.
$71. 75.
Lots of left-hand side on the cue ball to attempt to get the right side of the blue.
He's 8th in the all-time list of ranking event winners with 22 titles. He'd have gone to joint 6th alongside Trump and Robertson had he beaten Williams on Sunday night.
86.
Chasing a hat-trick of English Open titles this week in Brentwood and looking rock solid. Another excellent clearance from Mark Selby. 93 this time to go with the 127 in frame 3. He's turning the screw and he's a frame away from victory at 3-1. Another big crowd here in Brentwood enjoying the afternoon's entertainment.
Frame 5. Xing Zihao to break.
And Mark Selby looking to pull rank on the brand new professional from China, 18-year-old Xing Zihao, currently ranked 117 in the world. Just starting out in the pro ranks and finding just how tough it is at the top. He's played pretty well, but his mistakes have been punished heavily by Selby with breaks of 53, 127 and 93. Back-to-back clearances from Selby to put him on the cusp of a meeting with Martin O'Donnell at 7 o'clock this evening.
Didn't want the kiss on the brown. Oh, but that cue ball staying in the jaws of the pocket, and I think he's angled Mark Selby. Don't think you can see a red. Well, maybe you can. Oh, what a judge. Had to swerve round the angle, and cue ball just turning to the left as it was coming down the table. Couldn't have played it any better. Big target here though, the green and brown, to try and get in behind. Well, that was very, very difficult shot to the middle, playing it with a lot of left-hand side on the cue ball to try and gain position. Very risky, but maybe he thinks he's going to have a go. He's not winning the safety.
One.
He hasn't had a great deal of table time, actually. The one break of substance he made, the 40, which was well crafted given that the high value colours were awkward and weren't available, was the only real significant time he spent at the table potting balls. 3 frames he's lost, he's only scored a combined 10 points, so Selby's been monopolising things really. He's already shown signs of his talent, a couple of outstanding long pots on his way to winning that second frame. It's all part of the very steep learning curve at this stage of his new professional life on tour.
Yep.
Mentioned that he did score a win in the Championship League over the best of 5 frames against Ryan Thomason, got a draw with Ben Mertens. But this is rather different in terms of the environment to the Championship League. Hundreds of pairs of eyes trained on what he's doing, the TV cameras, millions watching around the world, and up against one of the all-time greats. It's a pretty tough ask.
Well, that was a very nice positional shot, using the red to gain position on this red. Back to the left corner. The way he's playing, you just start to fear the worst for Xing.
Yes, and the quicker and more ruthless Selby can be, the better for him, because of course he is due to play again in a few hours' time. Assuming he comes through, he'll be up against Martin O'Donnell, who's a very tough competitor, so he'll want to keep as much as possible in the tank. With that match in mind, assuming he completes the job here.
21.
Other matches in the first part of the evening session. Martin Gould against Oliver Lyons, Dominic Dale against Gary Wilson, the reigning Scottish Open champion, and David Lilley against Mark Davis.
$28.
Not quite got the angle on this red to open more reds up, but he's going to start thinking about that very quickly. And that's the angle that he wants. So we've got to put all the concentration into the pot. The cue ball takes care of itself. Going into the reds. But he's missed the black. And he hasn't gained position.
Selby,
And things are going for you. On another day, he leaves the red on. Chance for Xing. So, not easy to get a good safety shot here. May have to just, well, if it's touching, it's okay. Wow, just missed the red. Yeah, that was a poor one. But again, he hasn't left anything easy. Being a left-handed player, so he can reach this red to the right corner. But it's still a difficult red. Nicely played. Now, has he pushed the pink on? If he has, it's happy days.
Meanwhile, that prolonged applause is for Judd Trump because he's come through this afternoon at the expense of Scott Donaldson. Breaks of 140, 65 and 56 to finish the match. So Trump, former English Open champion and runner-up, safely through.
Seven. Eight.
Like Selby, Trump has won 4 home nations in all, including 3 on the bounce in the Northern Ireland Open, beating Ronnie O'Sullivan in the final each time. A rare opportunity for Xing to put something substantial together, keep his hopes alive in this match.
$15. 21.
Oh dear.
Just can't afford to do it, can you?
21.
You know, rare chances that he does get. He's going to make the most of them. This easy red to the middle, well, he won't forgive himself for that.
One.
But it's a difficult table to win, frame a match from.
He's shown flashes, Xing, but the reality is his pot success is just 78%, and that's nowhere near good enough to trouble someone of Selby's caliber.
5.
Selby himself in the mid-90s, which is excellent.
Off. Well, that is surprising.
Mark Selby.
Playing it with a lot of left-hand side on the cue ball, which makes the pot more difficult, but still expected him to pot that one. Seemed to go down the hole, the red, and come back up again.
One.
It's an awkward table. Black out of commission at the moment, couple of reds in close attendance, another red on the opposite side cushion.
Yeah, looks like he's going to have to go in and out of balk to try and get onto a red. Not sure if he can hold the cue ball. Yeah, well, maybe he can. This red to the middle. Just shows you how tight these middle pockets are. Just have to catch the angle and it stays out.
Interesting match underway on table 4. Hossein Vafai against Julian Leclerc. Selby misses with the rest. Things getting a bit scrappy at the back end of this 5th frame. Vafai, of course, a former shootout champion. Leclerc, last season's shootout runner-up to Chris Wakelin. And he's just levelled up the Belgian. He's made a break of 139 in that match and a couple of other half-centuries, so it's going the distance, 3-all. You can watch it on Discovery Plus, along with the other 3 tables. Still a fair bit of snooker to come in this frame, given the position of the balls, just 15 between them. He's missed the red altogether.
Ball.
That's how thin it was.
Mark Selby.
Just been a frame of errors, hasn't it, really? but the most important frame of all. So Selby nudging that red away from the cushion. If he could land onto the green after the next red to be able to play the cannon to the black and the red. And that looks pretty good to leave that angle I was talking about.
3.
Could also try and bring the red off the cushion. So choice of shots. Well, a red and a pink, and Xing could only tie.
9. Mark Selby 9.
As it is, the red eludes Selby, so this has been a very stop-start frame. Selby remains in control of it, but still needs to apply the killer blow to book his place in round 2 in a meeting with Martin O'Donnell this evening.
Yeah, great shot. Great shot. Needs an angle on the pink. Now, if you can't bring that red into play, you could try and play the snooker next shot. So put the pink, drop the cue ball in behind the black. Oh, wow. Played the cannon more than the pot. And he's going to be in big trouble next shot, you would think.
Zihao 1.
And that's big trouble. Very difficult to hit, and he's got to be careful not to leave the red on. Just needed the red, Mark Selby.
Foul.
Oh,
Yes.
and a free ball.
Mark Selby 4. Free ball.
A double whammy for Xing, so an opportunity here for Selby, already 31 to the good. Close this out. Brown as an extra red.
One.
Just needs the pink.
Seven.
Well, Xing has had a taste of the big time, having turned professional at the start of this season with his results in the China events. And he's seeing at close hand just how tough it is at the top. Mark Selby with a very efficient performance. He's made a few errors, but he's generally been
10.
Very solid. The highlights, 2 consecutive clearances of 127. That was an immaculate century from Selby.
12.
His 11th of the season. And 93 to follow. This frame has been scrappier, but it's gone the same way. Xing's one moment of joy was frame 2, when he did play well and potted a couple of excellent long balls. His talent is evident, but of course there are a lot of rough edges to smooth off. But he's just at the start of his professional journey. Mark Selby, meanwhile, one of the most decorated players in the game, is eyeing a 23rd ranking title, and he's on his way to round 2 here in Brentwood. A very solid all-round display from Selby, including a century. He's knocked out Xing Zihao by 4 frames to 1. And our coverage for D-Max viewers continues on Discovery Plus.